Welcome back, everyone, to the Museum of Pinetopia, where I am at the mob farm, which seems to be working fairly well, even though, based on the sounds I'm hearing, it's not working perfectly. I'm hearing a chicken jockey up there. Well, I'm hearing a chicken, so I presume there's a chicken jockey up there, and I've been hearing that for several minutes, so that means that some of the mobs are not being shunted down the system properly. But I'm getting good experience and I'm getting good items, so that's not going to be a major issue. Now, why I am down here, though, is not only to get some XP, but I also wanted to get some armor because I'm going to be working on the armor stands this episode. And our first piece of armor, I decided to get one where I finally have 4 of the same type. And the most recent piece of armor to drop is this gold helmet, which means I finally have a full set of armor. Actually, let's do this since I don't want it to all break apart just by one sneeze or something like that. So I am going to use a gold set of armor and add to them these 4 items that we selected last time. And I chose these 4 because these were the non-unique ones. And therefore I do have still one in reserve for each of these 2 types. And that means that if at a later time I got enough diamonds in order to duplicate some, I will be able to do so. But anyway, I think I've got enough XP and items for the moment. So I am going to head back up and we are going to make our first item with the template. For me to create this display, I'll be needing 2 items. First off, I'll need an armor stand. I'm not too sure I've ever created an armor stand. So that's going to be something new for me. Now, I think I've encountered some that were already at a village or something like this, but I really don't know if I've ever actually created one of these, but there we go. Definitely my first armor stand in this world. And so we will be putting this somewhere around here. For now, let's just we'll place it there for the moment, and let's see how this works. Here are 4 pieces of armor that we're talking about. So we can at least get the basic look. Let's see how this works. There, we can put this here, we can put this here. There we go. That's the basic armor model. And having museums with armor, having armor exhibits inside of museums is something that is not all that unusual, so I think that'd be quite fitting. Though of course we want interesting cases of armor, so that means that we will be wanting some of these templates on there. Now I'm going to need a smithing table to bring that out around, and in order to use a smithing table I think I need some iron. I couldn't find any upstairs, so I came to my storage area. So let's take a bit of iron from there that may become useful. And we can get back upstairs where I can make a smithing table. Now let's see if I've got this right. We need... Maybe I should have grabbed some wood while I was there. Oh well. Do I have any wood in here, or do I have to go back downstairs? Ah, here we are. Some birch. That'll do. We can convert that into there. Let's do this. And do that. Now, how's it? Upgrade gear. Alright, a nice armor stand there so that we could actually... Oops. So I suppose I had to have an empty slot open or something like that in order to be able to grab a piece of armor from here. And there. I'll figure out how that works one day. So let's have a look at this. Now we have the Shaper armor trim and the Razor armor trim. Let's have a look at that. Now this is where the armor, we add armor piece there. Oh, hold on. Smithing template, add piece of armor, add ingot or crystal. Obviously, I need to figure this out. Oh yes, of course, because you need the ingot or crystal in order to give it the color you want. So that's the question. What color would I like this to be? Well, that's hard to see much. I'm going to have to look at various types of pieces of, because this is supposed to be either crystal or ingot. Yes. How about copper? I snagged a few items that might be used. So let's try this again. Now we're looking at the razor, right? So let's have a look at this. First, let's see. We looked at an iron already. That wasn't very impressive. How about copper? Probably it doesn't show. You see nothing if you don't have something there, so you don't see a blank or anything like that, or even just the armor. So it's hard to compare that. So I'm trying to say, okay, what is the actual? How about if I put redstone dust in there? Alright, I see a little bit of red trim up around there and up around here. Alright. And then we can have a look at it in lapis. How about an emerald? No, that doesn't look very impressive. It looks best in red. How about if I look at the leggings instead? Alright, what about the other pattern? The shaper. And that's the shaper. The one that's in there now is the shaper. That maybe look a little bit better. And this. Now let's see how that looks on the helm. Because I'll be choosing two of each of them. I just want to make sure that things don't look too outlandish. Alright, so what I'm going to do, how's this one look in the razor? Alright, yeah, okay, the razor looks good on the legs and on the helm. Alright, so that's what I'll do, is I will use the razor for the helmet. And I will use that for the feet. I have crafting a new look, alright. I'll have that look. Then I shall place this one here. Yes, it looks like I chose redstone, so red is my color. And then finally for the... Now let's see how this looks. Oh, there we go. There we go. The chest. Okay, so that will be our exhibit. Now I guess we just have to choose a location in the museum in which to place it. I will be placing it right here in this corner. There we go. It's one of the few things where it looks like it could go into a direct... Oh, okay, I see. The armor stand maybe naturally goes into a diagonal. Alright. So a few things work diagonally in Minecraft. and finally here. Now I would like to have other substances, because the other thing I was considering was maybe amethyst, but I don't have any amethyst yet. I'm going to have to do something about that. Maybe we should go and explore for some of that. But alright, that I think looks good. And so that'll be our first exhibit in the museum. Now I may have some other armors along here that are plain, but as I go along, maybe I'll start to accumulate more trims and be able to do something else. But that's two sections that we have already. We've got our pottery section. This is where we'll have our armor section. Now I would like to have some paintings, but I think I'll need some good walls before I do that. I'll most likely put the paintings where I have the mud bricks, since that will be a location I think that will work. I don't know if it'll work against the brick walls or not. I suppose I could check that out at some point. Then again, there's no time like the present. Let's see if I can make a painting. And in the morning, I will try out various places along the museum and see how it works. Now let's see how this works. Now if I try to place it right here, it gives me a 1 block painting. That's very low resolution. Yeah, not really impressed with what I'm getting here. Now what happens if I place something here? Oh, interesting. Alright. I would have expected it to have been limited to the 2x2 area, but it seems like it thinks I want a 4x4 area. Well, I think there are ways in which you could limit the size of it to what you want, so I'll just have to go and look that up and be able to do so. Now what if I put it here? Yeah, it goes right in front of the door. I didn't think paintings did that. Though I do remember they did make some changes in paintings an update or two ago. So obviously, I didn't follow that very carefully. Let's see. See if I put that there. Actually, that actually works out quite well, I think. Yeah. I think I'll keep it there. Calcite. Amethyst. Blackstone. I think I found the right place. Definitely the right place. It looks like it could be a potentially dark place too. Well, let's toss a little light here. Oh, and it looks like a really dark area connected to it. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Of course, the first mob I see down here is a creeper. This is not exactly a fun place in which you would want to find a creeper. There you go. Anyone else? Another item that we commonly see in museums are crystals. And I'll take a few of these. I'll be getting the crystal cluster version here because I'm using a silk touch pick here. And though I will also want... Actually, can I get those with a stone sword? Yes, I can. Alright, that's good to know. So I'll just grab a few of these. A few of each of these, and that will give me something to work with. I have managed to mine out most of this area. Now there are, of course, the buds still, so that they could continue to grow crystals in the future. But I do have a few amethyst blocks way at the top that I've missed, and I see one or two pieces of calcite, but overall I have mined out the majority of this place. So I think it's time for me to head back upstairs and get back to base. Overall in this, I got, looks like 15 stacks plus a little bit more of calcite in this area. Now this is over twice as much as I got from that mountain that we had several episodes back. So this is from the mountain, and this is from that one geode. So that's quite a stark contrast over there. And as for the amethyst, I have 12 stacks of amethyst plus almost another stack from that, plus I have a stack of shards and several clusters, 5 large, well, 5 full-size ones, a large, 2 mediums, and 3 smalls. Now these buds, that's a cluster, okay, those are buds. As for those buds, they may be something interesting that I could put on display, but I think I'm going to need to have some frames in order to handle that. I will have the natural wonders on this side. So let's bring out a table. And for the table, I will use some spruce stairs and some slabs. How about if I post a table right over... What is the best way in which to do it upside down stairs? Perhaps if I put one here and then I can put this one, yeah, like that. Or I could do the same thing here. I could put, oops. Let's break that down like this. Let's put this one right over here. Well, I could put this one on top like that. I could get rid of this. Good. And I could use this to make a table. There you go. Now the question is, do I need an item frame in order to place these? Apparently not. Now the shards, I'm pretty sure will need an item frame in order to place one of these things. So let's see, where is... there it is, right. Yeah, that will need an item frame. So I get an item frame or place the shard there, but it looks like I'll just go from largest to smallest so you can see each of the growth stages here of the crystal. I apparently have 2 pieces of leather, so that means I can make 2 item frames, right? Let's try this out. We go 2 item frames, and the first of these is going to be used for the final piece of amethyst so that we could have a shard in our exhibit, and I can keep the other one on reserve for when we need another item to display. There you go. That is now complete, at least for the amethyst section. I'm sure that we will have other minerals to add as time goes along. Perhaps a little bit of an exhibit showing each of the types of stone that we have or something like that. We'll just have to see how much room we have. Let's start out with the more interesting things, the gems and the like, then we can go down the stones and the like as the season wears on, and if we have space. If we run out of space, then we're not going to worry about it. Lapis might be a good idea, and diamond and emerald, things like that. Now that gives me 4 exhibits. We have the pots that I added in the last episode. We've got the armor that I added this episode. So I suppose I could start adding additional pieces of armor as I get them. Then we have the little piece of art over here. I'll probably add another one over here in the near future so that we can have that particular exhibit. And then of course we have the amethyst exhibit, which we just finished. Now I would like to return to the walls. That means that I am going to have to excavate another trail ruins, and I guess I'll probably do that between episodes, or maybe we could incorporate that into the next episode. Whichever is the case, that is it for today's episode. As the sun sets and we have a look at the exterior or partial exterior of our museum, and maybe we can finally continue on with that and at least have a side done when we return to the next episode of the Museum of Pinetopia.